invited me and Mama because I have quite a bit of information about Eriya Kategaya. I met Eriya Kategaya 73 years ago. In 1952. My parents didn't know the school system, so they made me start 1B, which was like a pre-primary, in the second term. I don't think they knew first term and all that. So I started in Chenkove. There was a two-class girls' school where there were only girls, but if you are regarded as too young, they would send you to a girls' school. And there were 4 boys of us who joined that girls' school in the second term of 1952. The girls' school had 2 classes, you could say 3, 1B, 1A, and P2. And our head prefect was Mrs. Butagira. I don't know whether she's here. The wife of Butagira. Kuru, she was our prefect. Not very democratic, but effective. So I was in that girls' school with 3 other boys. Now, across the road, there was the boys' school, which had 4 classes. By 1952, in the Chamate area in Tungamo, if you got to P5, you had to go abroad to Chinoni. That is where there was P5 and P6. P5 and P6 were at Chinoni and Chitunga in our area. There was, and then Ryonza. So we Chamate people, up to 1952, if you went to P5, you had to go abroad. I think the Kabohis also may have been having P6. I think so. So when I joined the girls' school, there was a Mburzi. Mburzi is I don't know what you call him in English, a lay reader or something. Mburzi, Museveni. Museve's children, do you know them, you people? Children of Museveni. You are there, let me come and see you. Come here. Yes, she resembled the mother. But the mother was taller than you. Ah, exactly, that's how the mother looked. This is the... So Museveni was in Mburzi. Now, first of all, geography. As you heard, Kategaya is coming from Itojo. Itojo that time was part of Ndeja. It was one county in Ndeja, but... And Chamate, where Mama and myself come from, were in Tungamo sub-county. So you had Ndeja sub-county and Tungamo sub-county, big sub-counties. Now, from Tungamo, from Chamate to Itojo is 8 miles. Is 8 miles. So, Tukahirwa, that's what we are calling him. This Kategaya is his father's name. But his real name is Tukahirwa. And another boy called Karakwende. Karakwende, a cousin of Kategaya, a son of Nyamunwa. About you to Madam Mulimamanya? Ah, should have a man. Abanyamunwa Barinkai. I know ya. Abanyamunwa. So, Kategaya, Eriya, since you call Kategaya now, Kategaya with Karakwende, we are now staying with Museveni, the lay reader, because he was also from Itojo. They were staying with him. So I was going to the girls' school, which was below. No, but I was having lunch at Museveni's place. My mother had made an arrangement. You people who say school feeding and all that, they were making arrangements. Omwana ahumurowawe. Let my child use your place for lunch. So we had arrangements to deal with the feeding, not the way you are wasting time these days. So my mother had arranged that I should kumura for lunch or Museveni. Kumura is to have lunch there. Where now Kategaya and Karakwende were staying. Because their place was very far, 8 miles. To come every day was impossible. So, 1953, I now graduated from 1B to 1A. 1B was like pre-primary. Would rest in the sand. We write in the sand. We can't handicap Museveni. The 1A proper were writing on slates. Hamabari. Slates. So when I joined P1 proper now, 1953, I don't remember that Kategaya was there. I think they had gone or something. There is some story there, I didn't remember them. When I was in P1, P2, P3, P4, I don't remember those boys there at Kiamate. You should check. Those were. But now, Kategaya now comes back. I think he comes back around, I don't see Karakwende again. He comes back, I think in 1957, in the P5, either P5 or P6, 58. Comes back now with Rwabheje. Do you have the children of Rwabheje here? Rwabheje was an uncle of Kategaya, but he was a qualified, he had become some of our few qualified primary teachers. From Buarasi, he told us he had qualified very far in a place called Buarasi, abroad. Rwabheje had come from Buarasi, but the Buarasi were little Wazanyirako. The Buarasi were different from the ones of Nyakasura. Nyakasura was vernacular teachers' college, while Buarasi was full primary, grade 2 teachers. So that's how now I link up with Kategaya again. Either 1957 or 1958. Certainly in 1958, 58 we were together. So from Chamate, that's how we were with Kamuhangire. Now you can see here, when you are talking about Kategaya, and some of us, you are talking about the early pioneers of the education system in that area. Because before us, there were very few people. There were people like John Kazora, who became a lawyer, the cousin of Mama. We had 1 or 2 people from Kajara, the one called Karani and Garukande. Then from Rukoni, we had people like Dr. Nzaro. Otherwise, people going to junior secondary were we were not there. We were like this, the second batch or third batch. So when we came to Mara High School, a few of us from that area came. Kategaya, myself, Kamuhangire, the one they were talking about here. Ruvanga was from Ruvari, from another place. So then we came to, so this is the first thing about Kategaya. He was one of the other pioneers of the education system. A few of us who pioneered in that area of Tungamo. Ruhama was together with the Rwampara. So when you talk of Rwampara at that time, it includes Ruhama. When you are calling for the Rwampara people, I stood here, but you didn't see me. So that is number one. Pioneer of education from traditional families to this modern education. Then from Bara High School, we went to Tuntare, and from 1960s, the politics started. 1960. Then when the politics started, there had been a party by I.K. Musazi, which was like national, Uganda National Congress. It was going to be like TANU in Tanzania to unite all Ugandans. Because I.K. Musazi had been active in the farmers' movement and so on. But in 1954, some Catholic elite started DP as a party of Catholics. Now that was the poison now. So this party of Catholics started undermining the Uganda National Congress. The one of Musazi, of Dr. Kununka, of Yokosofati Ngul, those were all UNC people. Now, 1960, the Protestants also formed another sectarian party called UPC. And then the Baganda formed Kabaka Yeka, the Baganda party for many Protestant Baganda. So with the youth, initially we were divided among those parties, according to where our parents were. I was in DP, the Kategayas were in UPC, the boys in Uganda here who linked up with us later were in Kabaka Yeka. But by because although I'm not a Catholic, there was also some local sectarianism in Ankole, between the cattle keepers and the cultivators, like Rwanda type, Hutu, Tutsi. So that's how the cattle keepers, led by their chiefs who were just manipulating them, had formed an alliance with the Catholics. That's why DP was strong in Ankole. And they were really doing bad things. Damaging property, attacking people, abusing people, dividing people. Insecurity. In places like Uganda, you would get coffee being cut at night by rivals. They come and cut somebody's garden. So as we were in Ntale, by 1965, I remember very well, I got together with Eriya Kategaya and the other boys, and we said, this is rubbish. What these leaders are doing is very bad. I remember Kategaya telling me that their UPC leaders, because Kategaya was in UPC, and the UPC had been cheating elections. They were very good at cheating elections. Me, I didn't vote in 1962 because I was 18, I was approaching 18. But the voting that time was 21 years. Kategaya was not yet 21, like me. He was slightly older, but not 21. So he should not have voted. But Kategaya voted illegally, but also voted 8 times. This is what he confessed, like IMC has confessed all the things he stole and all that. So Kategaya also confessed later what they were doing. So I remember Kategaya telling me that their leaders had told them to go and cook was an old man, a former chief. Because of the antagonism they were creating among people, they would tell them, you go and Ukhema. Ukhema is to insult. Kuku. And Kategaya said, how can I insult Kuku? Kuku is like my parent. These people are wrong. So we started seeing the mistakes of UPC, DP, and Kabaka. That's really how NRM started, 1965. In the school, of course, we had school politics. Richard Kajika told you how I was his secretary in the Scripture Union. Kajika was president of the Scripture Union, and I was his secretary, not Scripture Union, Debating Society. Debating Society, 1963. That time, Kajika was in S5. We were in S3 ourselves that time. Then, when we came to S5, I became the president of the debating club, and we had our local politics there. That's when we started forming this NRM really, fighting sectarianism, 1965. So therefore, Kategaya now becomes a pioneer in the politics of patriotism, of loving Uganda, of loving Africa. That's why you hear the boy is called Machel. Machel is the name of Samora Machel, because of his African outlook. Now we try to influence situations, but people were not listening, And it led to the collapse of 1971 when Amin came in. The day Amin came in, I came from Kireka where I was staying. I don't know where Kategaya was staying that time, but with the Rugundas and others, we met at Kanyomozi's house in Bugorobi about 5 o'clock. And we said we must fight Idi Amin. The decision was taken there in Kanyomozi's house. I was staying in Kireka with the Kajuka. Kajuka was also staying in Kireka. He was working in the bank. So I went back and told him to get me some money. Kajuka is the one, so he's part of the subversives. Because he's the one who got me money quickly. Because this was 25th of January, the following year, 26th. After we took the decision to fight Amin, they decided that I go to Tanzania to link up with Mwalimu Nyerere. So the following day, 26th, I was busy getting money. I think Kejuka must have, the one who contributed some money. And then I went with 2 people from Kampala here to Mbarara. And I got to others there. On 27th evening, we entered Tanzania through Murongo and continued to Dar es Salaam. Started that war against Amin. Now Kategaya stayed here as our underground coordinator. 71, 72. Now, when you are organizing, you young people, you should understand the importance of appreciating different qualities of people. You hear that Kategaya was very active in the club, that club, some club there, Kampala Club and so on. Me, I have never belonged to any club. I was more either in the house or somewhere else fighting. But Kategaya in their club, they do a lot of networking. While me, I was also using another way of networking. When I came back 72, 71, Kategaya told me that he had linked up with Akana Pajok. Then Akana Pajok linked us up with a man called Jacob Okello, who was working in UDC. Now, these are people he met at the Uganda club. I don't think he knew Akana Pajok before. I didn't know him myself. When he linked up with Akana Pajok linked us up with the people of Atiak in Uguru and the people of Awere. I think even Kasada the engineer, Kategaya may have linked with him at that club there. The one who linked us up with Mayuge and Busoga, engineer Kauruza Kasada. So when you are organizing, what Bishop himself was saying, the mission, anybody loyal to the mission should be welcome. Although there are different characteristics, this one likes socializing, this one is a loner. Let each one contribute according to his talents. Let everybody contribute. So you can see Kategaya had a different approach, but he brought in quite a lot of contacts which we didn't know. For us, we were starting from the school network, the ones we started with. But now you can see he's now bringing in contacts from another forum which many of us were not involved in. Now, in the 1981-86 struggle, so 72, Kategaya had to run away. I came, I think it was 72, when he had married Joan. I came and I stayed with them at Mulago. They had a house there. When I was coming from Tanzania in my underground work. Then later on they shifted to the other flats, Bat Valley flats, and left the Mulago house to my underground work. Now, we had a problem in 1973. First of all, we messed up September 72 when Obote launched a badly organized invasion of Uganda. Then it failed, and then we lost a lot of people. But we continued. But we had fresh problems. When we knocked, Kategaya was driving his car, a Renault car. We were coming from the north, from those Gulu. Kategaya knocked a car at... that's why you freedom fighters, you should know that God is always with us also. Don't forget that. Because I had driven with Kategaya to Awere. Awere is 60 miles east of Gulu. We were going to give out guns. We had guns which we had hidden. It's a long story. You can stay here the whole day. Now we went to Awere, met Sergeant Okuya, who had a group there. But we had an infiltrator in the group of Okuya, who alerted Amin's people that Kategaya and myself were coming to Kampala from Gulu. So when we had reached Palenga Primary School, Kategaya knocked a sheep. God brought a sheep to delay us. Knocked the ship, the car's radiator got damaged, it couldn't move. So we didn't proceed to Kampala. We had to go back to Gulu with Jacob Okero. We stayed in the house, in the lodge for the rest of the day. Now, apparently, the other infiltrator had taken the number of the car of Kategaya and communicated with the police here, and they got the address. When Kategaya, we stayed in Gulu, left at 10 in the night with a hired vehicle. He dropped me at Mulago, went to Bat Valley Flats. When he arrived, the gatekeeper said, you man, a group of people came and jumped over the fence. I tried to challenge them, they ignored me. They went and touched where your car is parked. They didn't find it there, they left. That's what saved him. The fact that the car knocked the ship and we didn't come. And so you should always see God in all these things. So, because of those problems, Kategaya had to run away. And that's how we now had to recruit Mbabazi. Mbabazi was already there apparently in our structure, but I didn't know him. But when Kategaya left, Rugunda left, Akana Pajog left, Kasada was killed, we had now to resurrect the internal structure. That's how eventually I linked up with Mbabazi and Otafuire, 1974. It's a long story, you will not. So I want to thank Joan and you people who wrote, because many of the things you are writing about, Many of them I had forgotten about. And some of them I didn't even know, because when you are involved, you have one angle which you are handling, you don't know the rest. Like in today's paper, there was a headline in the New Vision. Oh, big issue, Museveni was in jail for 2 weeks in Ukonga maximum security prison. After that time, I was in luxury. Ukonga was nice, clean, and so on. Prison, all right, but clean. But I had been in prison 7 times in Tanzania, 7 other times. I think even Ruzindana was involved in some of them when we were locked up in Bukoba, then in other places, then Mwanza, then. So it's good that you write, you capture those stories for the young people to know. I want to congratulate Joan and the people who wrote the other book. Thank you so much. You have made a very good contribution. Even me, who was involved in all this, I am now beginning to. For instance, I didn't know that Joan is the one who saved us by ringing Sherura. The story they said they were reading here, the young people were reading. Because me, I was in paradise in Ukonga maximum security. We didn't know what was happening outside. Mama was in Nairobi. She didn't know what was happening. But somebody contacted her also through a Greek. We had a Greek who was with us in prison, who contacted another Greek, and I think they contacted you. But now Joan is now telling me, I didn't know myself for the first time that she, because after like 2 weeks they came and released us. I didn't know why. And I didn't get time to check because we were busy all the time. But what I knew in my head was that Mwalimu Nyerere was away. That one I knew when he came back. But I didn't know the details of how the Hollywood, the Hollywood operations by Joan, how she bribed a police lady who then got her out of prison and then got her to a phone, and then the phone he rang Dr. Sherura. Dr. Sherura was in Nairobi, and I had already introduced him to the director of the intelligence of Tanzania, Lawrence Gama. This is the first time I'm hearing that part. That part I never heard. So thank you so much. I think Joan should. What is the prize for literature? Or whatever they call it. Now, the other thing you need to learn about Kategaya is politics of principle, politics of aims. You must have good aims and clear aims, and also have good methods. So because our politics of the NRM have been patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. By the 1960s, we had already crystallized these principles. And that's how we worked. You remember we had some differences with Kategaya. One of those elections, we had some differences with some of the movement people. And the differences were caused by bad work methods. You must have good aims, but also good, correct work methods, so that you arrive at a decision in a democratic way, not any other way. So we had some differences with the Kategaya along the way. I don't remember which election was it, 2016, one of those. But after the elections, I met with the Kategaya and said, now, we didn't agree here, but we agree on the East African Federation. And he said, of course he agreed, because we agree on that. I said, therefore, I propose that come back and handle the East African community docket, because that's there we didn't have any disagreement. So when you are working for aims, things are easier than just working for yourself, working for, what do you call it, this ego. Things are much easier. I'm working for aims. That's why you find for us it's not a problem. Like the NRM you're talking about. We had even agreed with Obote when we were fighting 1979. Mwalimu invited me back to Dar es Salaam. I met with Obote, and we formed a joint committee of 7 people. Obote chairman, me vice, 3 members on our side, 4 members on Obote's side, but our side had a right of veto. We had agreed. But then Obote started doing other things. During the fighting of 85, 81, 85, we formed a common front with Professor Rule, a conservative of what they call conservatives. I don't know what they are conserving, of Mengo, but because of dealing with Obote, we agreed. And we made Rule our chairman. I was vice chairman. That's how Chigongo became first vice chairman, because me, I was then first vice chairman of Rule. Only that he died just before 85, 1 year before. Otherwise, he would have been our president when we took power 86. So, with Kategaya and we who know what we are doing, it is politics of aims, of mission, not politics of myself, what, no. You should also, as you study what we did, study that also. So therefore, I want to thank John for reminding us, for bringing up this idea of getting together and using this occasion to educate these young people, to pass on the story to them. I want to thank her so much and all those that have helped her. I want to salute Bishop Ahimsiwe, the young bishop. He is a bishop who is walking in the footsteps of Jesus. Others do so partially. Because Jesus, you know, I was also president of the Scripture Union. And I would have been a bishop if I had not gone for these other things. Actually, my squad mate, Benezia Kisembo, became Bishop of Rwenzori. That was my group of 1962 Christian conference at Nabugabo camp, Christian youth camp. So the mission of Jesus had 4 dimensions. He preached the gospel, healed the sick, fed the hungry, and worked he himself in the carpentry of Joseph. So when you say, I'm just preaching the gospel, but I don't do any, the other three, I think you are partial, you are not complete. But Bishop Ahimsigo is really handling all the 4 dimensions, and I congratulate him. So it's good that you invite him, you invited him to link up with these young people so that you can know what he's doing. Our diocese there of Ntungamo, he has grown coffee for them using the church land, which was just there doing nothing. But he has also encouraged the bishops to grow coffee. So I'm glad you invited him. So I thank everybody for remembering Eriya Kategaya, Banyankole se Otejuka Tazumura, the one who doesn't remember doesn't reward those who did a service to him. So thank you so much, all of you, and thank you all of you for coming. This is very good to see all these elders, Bagurusi, all these coming. This is very, very good. I wish you good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we once again appreciate His Excellency the President? Your Excellency, speaking about mentorship, the UPM fraternity, can you stand for recognition again? The children, not the elders, now the children. The grandchildren, in fact, and the children. Your Excellency, they will at an opportune time request to meet you because they need your support in this mentorship journey. Please come, UPM team. Please come. It would be nice for you to be here. These members of the UPM team, offsprings. Yes.
They can come, and we have
Justinian Katera, Winston Lutehenda, Michelle Martin Mugaju, the UPM offsprings. That's our association.
Come for a group photograph. My staff should organize for them to come and see me.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. That was our prayer. Your Excellency, 2 things will happen, and we request for your intervention. We'll have the launch, and I'll ask that the teams now bring forward the launch items, where we are launching the memory book, and of course